Welcome back to this game. Last time was probably the weirdest episode in Uneven Buddies history.
Most of you involved the FaceTime with the old high school classmate.
Yeah, and someone I dated for like a month. And then I left. She left me because I played Persona 5. That's not the actual reason. I did.
Shit, I would have left you for doing that.
I did tell her about that joke. She thought it was funny, at least. But like, we had to talk about that, and I forgave her. So all's well and good, unless she tries something funny, in which I'm pulling out my gun.
In my opinion, she seems genuine for now.
Yeah, for now. You can never be too certain.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's listen to Rosalina lore, because that's what everyone likes this game for. And then we'll get back to our topics of discussion. Chapter 1, The Celestial Duo. Our story begins a very, very long time ago with a young girl. One day, this girl spotted a rusted spaceship with a small star child. What's your name? Are you lost? The girl asked the small child. I'm Luma, and I'm waiting for Mama. She's coming for me on a comet, said the star child, who had been waiting day and night. Don't worry, I'll wait with you, the little girl promised Luma. At nightfall, the little girl borrowed her father's telescope and peered into the sky. She looked and looked, but she saw nothing. Hours turned into days and then years, but still the sky revealed nothing. Finally, the little girl sighed and said to Luma, if you stay here looking for much longer, I'll be an old lady soon. Then she had an idea. At nightfall, the little girl thought... I said that out. Why don't we go out there and find your mother ourselves? The girl and Luma fixed up the rusty spaceship, and then the two set sail into the starry sky. And this is how the search for the celestial mother began. Chapter 2. Starbits. Days passed with no sight of the comet or even a single planet. Instead, asteroids extended as far as the eye could see. If I had known it was going to take this long, I would have packed more jam, said the little girl above the rumble of her belly. Before they left, she had packed all the essentials. Telescope, butterfly net, stuffed bunny, bread, milk, jam, and apricot-flavored tea. But... I forgot to bring water! At this, Luma burst into gales of laughter, and the girl began to pout. As long as I... Okay, that's good for me. As long as I have Starbits, I'll be fine, said Luma. Want some? The little girl couldn't stay mad after hearing this. Luma continued to laugh, and the girl couldn't help but join in. Alright, maybe just a minute. Leading far out of the ship, the pair began to collect Starbits with the girl's net. They almost fell out a few times, but they kept on collecting. Starbits tastes like honey. Wow, that was... lore.
So you might remember, Starbits are based off of an actual Japanese candy.
Are they really?
You didn't know that?
No. I mean, they look like miniature rock candy, but,
Yeah, let me bring it up.
Okay, 2 new galaxies, maybe.
Here it is, Konpaito.
Ah! Those do look like
It's
stuff.
a sugar candy.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it comes in a variety of colors and flavors.
That's nice.
So, apparently, Starbits are honey-flavored Konpaito.
Nice. Now, would you eat Starbits in real life? Ow.
Literally proof that you can eat them.
I know.
In fact, I deliberated on ordering like a $15 package of Konpaito over on Amazon like a while back. So yes.
But I told her that how horribly you butchered Yadel's name in the end of last episode, and she thought that was funny.
Hey, I literally shit at names. What makes you think I remember a name I heard like 2 times in a conversation that was like 40 minutes long?
That is a fair point. Here we go. I mean... And then she sent me porn on Snapchat. I'll leave it up to you to decide if I'm joking about that or not.
Do you remember my time being friends with Kenya?
Who's Kenya?
She was this girl I was friends with for like a few years in high school.
Yeah.
She was also friends with John Tomasino. Well, friends. She apparently, like as I learned, like getting to know her, she kind of grew to kind of hate him.
Yeah. Anyway, where are you going with this?
We talked a lot over Skype.
Oh.
And like half the time we were being very perverted about shit. So we'd literally talk about like characters that we found hot and shit. So. Trust me. It is very much a thing between friends to like talk about horny shit.
In this game of Smash or Pass, we will be...
We literally played Smash or Pass!
I mean, who wouldn't?
Like, we didn't marry fucking and kill and shit like that.
Yeah. That shit's funny.
I stopped talking to her because she made it quite clear that she apparently thought of me as essentially like symbolic of her still being connected to her past in Road City, which she hated.
Mm.
And that just talking to me pissed her off nowadays.
I see.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also made it clear that like I'll cherish the memories because I did have a lot of fun with her, but like, man, if she wanted to cut me off on the basis that I was literally
traumatizing
just by existing because she wanted to cut out her past so much, then whatever, fine.
Yeah.
It happens.
I mean,
people grow distant. Like when she had like issues with
I'm gonna die.
Yeah. when she had issues that like she needed a friend's help, I was able to do it, but she wasn't able to do it to me. So like there was already kind of signs that like our friendship wasn't meant to last.
Yeah. Ouch.
That's not even a joke, by the way. Like
yeah.
During her time after she moved away, I was very much willing to help her out, but like making her like talk about her feelings and stuff like that. She got lucky there.
Yeah, I know.
She didn't really care to do that when I was going through one of my depressional moods.
Yeah.
So like I mentioned, it's like one of those things where, on some level, you have to realize that someone's benefiting a lot more from having you around than you are.
Yeah.
And if they want you out of their life because it like harms their mental health, it's okay to let it go.
Yeah.
Besides, it's not like I didn't have my own issues with her.
I mean, nobody's perfect.
Like I mentioned, she grew to hate John Tomasino because, like, he had a crush on her for a while. But like that also meant a good chunk of our conversations were shit talking one of my friends.
I see.
Like I even apologized to John after like everything had happened when we were hanging out once.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know that we were essentially talking behind his back and shit, but I did feel guilty about it all. So I was basically upfront about it one day when we like watched Doctor Strange, and I apologized.
Ah.
To be fair, she's the one that was actually angry with him. My reason for shit talking is that like she did have a point in the fact that he was constantly talking about relationships and stuff like that. And as someone who didn't have one, nor cared to find one, it was actually kind of infuriating for a bit.
Yeah, I get that. Kind of. I should probably get that one.
Essentially, it was a case of I myself kind of grew frustrated with like his constant talk about relationship drama.
Yeah.
Especially with his crushes, and like all I could think is, man, I think you're overcomplicating this.
Yeah.
But she actually really grew to dislike him on the basis that for a bit, she was his crush. So yeah, I don't know. She just kind of didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's a weird case. I made my peace with the entire stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it was years ago.
Yeah.
But it makes for funny storytelling.
Yeah.
I remember I was telling Jacqueline about the joke about what everyone's wanting a fifth buddy, but there's only 4 of us, and we're never gonna get one. And she was like, "I could be the 5th one," and I said no.
The whole joke is that that we're uneven by number, but that we're mentally uneven.
Yes.
That is the entire joke. And now that I've spoiled it, it has been ruined.
Well, also, dealing with 3 people is already a lot of work.
And in reality, technically it is uneven if you remember that this is Logan's channel, and me, Jonathan, and Kevin are the buddies.
Yeah. Technically. And yet, again, having 3 people is already a lot of work.
Yeah, especially since we don't even find time to hang out more than one half the time.
Yeah.
Well, 75% of the time.
Yeah.
Gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay, cool. Old man? Take that, penguin. Okay. Just in time.
It's back. What?
I don't know.
By the way, where do I toss this one? Because this is a bigger bag than normal.
Usually we just throw it in the outside garbage can, so we'll do that on the way out.
Yeah, okay.
I'm frozen. Oh, real quick, this popped in my mind. Moana 2 was announced. And it's coming this year.
Wasn't it originally meant to be a Disney Plus show or something like that?
Yes.
I think the joke was that, again, they realized that, they've been starting to slowly realize that no one's happy with the way that these shows are happening, so...
Yeah, have a fucking movie surprise announcement later this year. And because of that, they're delaying the live-action remake.
For the best, let's be honest here.
That movie does not need a live-action remake.
It just came out. What are you on?
Dwayne Johnson wants to sing in live-action.
No, Dwayne Johnson wants to save his reputation after Black Adam fucked it.
Yeah. Remember Black Adam?
No.
I don't either.
I watched quite a bit of the movie just from, my last job, and... Trust me, there's a reason why it failed. Honestly, I saw more people Flash.
I'm pretty sure like the past 8 DC movies have all bombed at the box office. And I blame Warner Brothers is stupid, but I'm pretty sure it's because Warner Brothers is stupid. You see, the joke is that DC sucks.
DC is much better when it's not trying to be fucking Zack Snyder bullshit.
Yeah, and now, and also because, well, it's already known that they're rebooting it, so why would audiences want to go see these new movies if it's not going to matter in the end?
Like, noticeably, like, there's a bit of a joke among DC fans, and that's fans of shit like the offer Watchmen.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember his name, and like the offer of The Dark Knight Rises, like, and how the people who are fans of those works don't understand the single fucking thing about those works.
they had good writing.
Not even that, but like they misunderstand shit all the time.
I mean, there was the Batman movie that was successful, but that wasn't part of the DCEU, so it doesn't count.
Like, for instance, a lot of people don't realize that Rorschach is very much not the hero. He might look like one because he's facing off against some fairly awful and powerful people, but at the end of the day, the man's a psychopath.
But I can fix him. Sorry.
Essentially, like, a lot of people aren't realizing that, like, there's things that are there explicitly as critiques of the shit that people, like, praise it for.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic.
Like, for instance, like, the guy who did Watchmen also did The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
And, like, there are people who unironically believe the whole one bad day thing, which is, like, this mentality from the Joker that, like, people need just one bad day and they'll snap and become just like him and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
When a good chunk of that comic is basically proving it wrong. For instance, Barbara Gordon and Jim Gordon have a goddamn awful time in that comic, and never do they break. They have way worse than one bad day, and they basically prove, no, you're wrong. People can and will, like, be able to do better than you. You're just insane.
The Joker. I can fix him.
Or these are the same type of people who think Joker and Harley is a good relationship.
My sister at some point. I talked her out of it. Don't worry. And I've told that story before.
Like, seriously, if she ever starts it up again, show her the episode Mad Love from Batman the Animated Series.
Alright.
Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that's the one where he literally physically abuses her.
Kids, if someone asks you out as, will you be...
And this is from, like, Harley's initial version, like the very first version of Harley.
Kids, if someone asks you out with, will you be the Harley Quinn to my Joker? Run.
Yeah, just
and then call the police.
What they want is essentially a sex pet who does everything they want.
Stupid.
But that's basically how Joker treated her. She was basically an afterthought that was mostly just around for having an easy minion and for sex.
Yeah.
As shown by the fact that, like, just how often Harley has to try to get him to sleep with her. And implying that they have an active sex life that's mostly just there for, like, Joker's, entitlement.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's dumb.
No, the whole point was to show that, like...
I know.
The people who think that it's healthy is dumb.
Yeah, that's true. Alright.
Speaking of, like, physical abuse and relationship and all that, one of the things I saw recently was Has Been Hotel.
Oh no.
Because that show came out this right at the end of January and beginning of February.
Whenever I think of Has Been Hotel, all I can think of is that guy that spent $50,000 on some anime.
Verbal Ace, yeah!
Yeah, that happened last month.
That shit was funny.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Basically the perfect advertisement for the show, really.
Yeah.
Down. The amount of people who will never let Charlie live that down is hilarious. But,
I'm sorry.
Funnily enough, completely coincidental because of the way that cartoons work, right?
Yeah.
But there was a character at one point in episode 5 who is introduced apparently owing these loan sharks $50K.
Huh. Oh, $50K.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Imagine completely coincidental considering how the field of animation works. Because this show was in production way before that.
Unless you're South Park.
Yeah, South Park's basically the only one who can get away with it.
Sorry, Family Guy. They try too hard. I've talked about that before.
But the reason South Park can do it is literally because of the way that it's animated.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of South Park, do you think we'll see fucking Snow Day in the Partner Direct? It is coming to Switch.
I don't know. What makes you think I'm even thinking of Snow Day?
It's coming out next month. And unlike the past 2 games, it has not been delayed. Take that as you will. Man, remember delays? Anyway, back on Has Been Hotel.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it a lot. There are people who are pissed at it for multitudes of reasons. There are people who are pissed at it from a religious angle. There are people who are pissed at it because they think that I'll get to this point later because it's honestly stupid. Yeah. There are people who are pissed at it on the basis that they just hate Vivzy.
The creator?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. From what I've heard, they're not a good person.
It's more like a lot of the shit that they bring up is stuff from 10 years ago and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's more of a case of them really trying to find anything to try and hate her for.
Wow, this person said this thing X amount of years ago. Clearly, they're a bad person.
No, the reason I say that it's clearly on the basis of just trying to find a reason to hate is because it directly correlates to the one I skipped over.
Yeah.
So, what do you know about Has Been Hotel?
I know about the funny $50,000. Well, apart from that, it looks like a porn animation, and that's all I know about it. I know one of the characters' name is Charlie, and that's it.
Okay, so you really don't know anything.
I really know nothing.
Okay, so there is a porn star in the series.
Oh, fun.
Who's essentially the hotel's first person to join. He's named Angel Dust, which if you don't know what that means, here's a hint: Bolivian marching powder. And if you don't know what that means, I'm saying cocaine.
Ah. Correct.
But what happens is in universe, occasionally there's song numbers, and it's kind of treated like they're actually singing these songs because it's acknowledged multiple times, implying that the world that has been kind of works on musical rules.
Mm.
But that it's perfectly normal for people to just break out into song. But there is this one song that appears in episode 4. Actually, both songs that appear in episode 4 kind of caused a bit of a controversy.
Oh no.
The first one, called Poison, is this very upbeat pop song. That people basically use as an excuse to claim that it's promoting domestic abuse. Because the whole point is that like Angel Dust is in an abusive relationship with his pimp who owns his soul. Like, and when I say abusive, I mean abusive in just about every single facet.
Yeah.
He's sexually abusive, he's physically abusive, he's emotionally abusive, he's even fiscally abusive somehow. Because he's his boss.
Yeah.
And like, this song is basically, like, people basically called out how the song is too upbeat for this subject matter. Even though if you actually listen to the song, you realize that like this, like a good chunk of the song is trying to pull up this whole idea, only for the very end to basically break it down and like tell you, because the lyrics were already kind of like on the darker end, basically telling you I'm putting up front to keep it to like hide the fact that I'm absolutely fucking miserable and kind of want to die. Like, the literal last line is hope to have something to live for tomorrow. As in, there, as it is right now, I literally have nothing that makes me want to stay alive.
Yeah.
Anyways, continuing on with the rest of the episode, he gets into an argument with the hotel's bartender, and basically, he storms off, and tells the bartender has to follow him because Charlie and Vaggie, the main character and her girlfriend, force him to go out there. First, because Vaggie feels like Husk is responsible for making him storm out.
Yeah.
And second, because while Charlie doesn't want Husk to drag him back to the hotel, because she fucked up earlier in the same episode, that led to the situation where he literally got hit and then had to like chase her away for her own safety, because she was getting too close to essentially getting attacked by his boss. So she's like, look, don't drag him back, but just keep him safe. I don't want him getting hurt while he's away. So like, he follows him, realizes that Angel Dust is about to get roofied, and he intervenes. This leads to a song, which is the other song that people were like calling wrong, because they claim that it's essentially victim blaming.
Yeah.
When in reality, the actual point of the song is to say, hey, look, you think your life is completely fucking insufferable. You want to end it all. You think that there's nothing left to live for.
Ouch.
Like, you think you're basically at rock bottom. You are correct. But, and like, this is a major but, you are nowhere near as alone as you think you are. There are people who care about you, and there are people who are in the exact same situation as you, who are just as miserable as you, and basically, you can survive this, and you will have people who will want to help you because they care about you.
Yeah.
So, like, people were basically using these two songs as a way to claim, like, support for domestic abuse, when in reality, the whole point of the songs were to basically try and, like, build up the idea that Angel will, in fact, like, start actually trying to stand up for himself and stuff like that. Because he does, because a lot of this controversy started during the initial release, which only released the first 4 episodes. By episode 6, he's basically willing to call out his pimp on his bullshit and like stand up for himself. And even when he gets hit, he's like, it was worth it. You got lucky there.
Yeah, very.
But like, this is what I meant. Like, this was a case of people hating it just because they want to hate it. Like, they found a literal excuse that was anywhere near the text, and in fact the opposite of what Vivzie was trying to say, and they used it as a way to basically just hate her.
Of course.
Because yeah, they have to justify the fact that they don't like her somehow. Because, well, there's a lot of reasons why the internet would hate her.
Yeah.
Not even including the fact that she's a female animator, but there's also things like she's a furry. She writes about hell and doesn't treat it like it's the worst place ever. So, religious reasons.
Yeah.
And like she is part of the LGBT community and all that.
Yeah.
Basically, there's a lot of things that that reactionaries would use to try and hate someone. But along with that, in the past, she said stuff that she does regret and has talked about it over the years because it's been brought up a lot. Because no shit, they try to find anything to take you down if they don't like you. So of course they're gonna dig through literally decades old tweets and shit.
Of course.
Look, there's an argument to be made about what type of person Vivzy is. But at the end of the day, that argument shouldn't go back to that stuff. If you're gonna hate someone, find an actual reason to hate them.
Yeah.
Like, don't just drag up bullshit and start making excuses. Heck, even if you hate her, you can easily just say, I just don't like her. You could find a reason to not like her for any other reason. Like, there are people who don't like her because they just don't like her work. Because the way that she writes just isn't appealing to them.
Yeah, find a way to say you don't like her without shoving it down others' throats.
Like, you are allowed to dislike people just because, you know that, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to have a reason. You don't have to, come up with an excuse. You could just dislike someone because something about them rubs you the wrong way or something like that.
Yeah. Ooh.
Conversely, you don't have to make up shit about someone to try and ruin their lives just because you don't like them. Or you don't have to drag shit up that people have moved away. Because trust me when I say this, you are a very different person from who you were 10 years ago just because you want to see them fall. It's honestly kind of pathetic.
I mean, there are people who just... actually, I don't know what else I'm going to leave with that. Like, man, I hate this person. I want them fucking cancelled. That's your problem. Ow.
Like, just because you feel like a person is someone you don't like, you don't have to ruin their lives. You can, in fact, just hate people.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be everybody else's problem. It can, in fact, just be a you thing. Just because other people don't agree with it doesn't mean that you have to make them agree with you at any cost.
Yeah.
It's weird. And kind of needy.
Stupid. Anyway. I lost my train of thought. Anyway. Something is chasing me.
There was something I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, say this, the music is great. Alex Brightman is like he was in Beetlejuice the musical. Pretty damn fun to watch. Yeah. He voices two characters in the show. There was controversy on the basis that they essentially recasted everybody.
Yeah.
But honestly, I honestly enjoy the new voices better, so can't say much about that. Before you say anything, I did watch the pilot years ago, and I even rewatched it after the fact. If you think that the old voices do it better, that's your opinion. There are people who think otherwise, and hell, there are some people who think that maybe, quite literally, you're just viewing this through rose-tinted glasses. There are actors who most people generally agree are an improvement over the original.
Yeah.
For instance, Sir Pentious' original voice. That guy's been outed as kind of a weirdo. And not just that, in general, the character Sir Pentious, who people have come to love, basically only exists because the writers essentially grew to like the character so much that by the time they got to the show, they decided to like give him a much bigger role, because he originally was just meant to be like a one-off villain.
Yeah.
Like he only stuck around on the basis that like they liked him, and he only got as far as he did because Alex Brightman is a charismatic like actor, and they really liked him, so they kept expanding his role essentially.
Yeah. This star is green.
Especially considering how he also plays the season's main villain, and that guy is generally considered one of like the best villains in like modern years.
Yeah.
Because well, like here's an actual comparison I've heard. Hazbin Hotel out Disney. And honestly, if you look at it this way, you realize that they basically did do kind of Disney shtick. Like, they have a princess, she wants to improve things, they have a villain who gets, like, a villain song and shit like that, and yada yada yada. The only major difference is this is in hell. There's a ton of well, not even a ton of swearing. They actually, if you look at Hell of Lost, that has a ton of swearing. This show's a lot more careful with swears, because it's an actual like professional release. But also they want to keep the swears to like moments where it feels like it's actually like it actually makes an impact.
Yeah.
Like unlike things like the Hell of the Boss Powder and stuff like that, where they'd be swearing like a lot. There are sometimes in an episode where you won't hear like a swear for like 10 minutes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even then, like as some people point out, there's an actual reason for the swearing. Like for instance, Charlie at the very beginning doesn't really swear that much. She swears every once in a while, like during a song or something like that, or like when she realizes like she fucked up. But she's basically like completely at odds with the way the other residents of Hell act. But by the end of the series, when she's gotten much closer to the people around her, she's swearing a lot more casually because she's gotten used to swearing in the same way that everyone else does, kinda. Because she literally spends like the first few episodes, like the way that she tries teaching people is things like trust exercises and then fucking like essentially 80s PSAs about not having sex before marriage and not doing drugs and shit. Essentially, she doesn't actually understand what the general population of Hell is like until later on in the series, after she spent a lot of time with them.
Speaking of sex before marriage, actually, I'm not going to continue on that.
There was one,
Yeah, I see it.
And the reason she doesn't understand it is she's literally the princess of Hell. She's basically the most overprivileged person there. So much so that like when I say she basically is overprivileged, I mean she quite literally can do anything she wants because her dad is Lucifer.
Yeah.
And unlike most iterations of Lucifer, this is going along more kind of like with South Park's iteration of Lucifer. By that I mean generally he's more of an upstanding guy than you'd think.
Yeah.
Like in his introduction episode, he's treated as kind of a deadbeat dad, but it's made quite clear that he very much cares for his daughter and stuff like that. The reason I bring up South Park Lucifer is because it's like the one iteration of the devil that I can think of that isn't like very obscure, where it becomes very apparent as the series goes on that like he's introduced as and hyped up as like literally the devil, but then you realize he's nicer and like a better person than the vast majority of the people around.
Now, how did you breathe in there?
Like, there's a reason why when he died, the devil went to heaven in South Park. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. Ow! Oh my neck.
Like Lucifer and Hazbin is still a straight up angel.
Yeah.
Like he's there not because he like rebelled against God or anything like that. He's there because he fucked up, made a mistake, and he's being punished for it. He's a fallen angel, but it's made abundantly clear he still has his angelic powers.
Yeah.
Essentially the equivalency to someone who kind of fucked up, but he isn't evil.
Yeah.
Unlike the vast majority of Hell, where he actually kind of dislikes them because he actually does view them as mostly evil.
Interesting.
The reason I say that he's being punished is his literal punishment, and the reason he's in Hell is so that he will only ever see the negatives of having given humanity free will. Like, essentially saying, this is what happened because of you. This is your fuck up. And, yeah, no, he outright looks at all, like, everyone around him and basically says, this is what you did with free will? I've essentially gave up everything for people who do nothing but make things worse for everybody.
Yeah.
And he kind of resents the sinners for it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But anyways, I've gone on and on about my most recent hyperfixation. Let's talk about something else.
Okay, so my porn watch history is going along nicely. That's a joke. Also, I didn't mean to launch this mission. Because there was, like, Luigi's missing, you have to find him, and I've narrowed it down to this galaxy. And it's not this fucking mission. Sorry, Top Man people.
But Luigi's much more important.
He's my bro. Bros before hoes. Anyway.
What do you think of MatPat's theory?
Of?
Luigi. Talk about that,
being Rosalina's dad?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Not gonna lie, I always found it stupid.
It is stupid. Isn't that all of MatPat's theories?
He has some decent ones on food theory.
But now he's retiring.
Yeah. Half the time I'd watch him is mostly for entertainment, really. I don't view him as a credible source for information, really.
But at least he made it in the FNAF movie. His character's name was Ness.
I can't wait for him to die and become a skeleton.
Nah, you just see the skeletal remains of Ness in FNAF 2.
Not just that,
with a blue hoodie.
I think my favorite joke about that, though, was, there was this animation channel that made jokes, talking about the post-credit sequence, and, he animated it, and it's basically what would happen if Ness turned out to have actually been an investigator. Trying to, find out what happened.
Yeah.
And, the very was like, I have a theory.
That's just me. I remember, when I watched that movie, it took me, a minute to recognize, but then I literally shouted in the theater, wait, that's MatPat! And everyone was just freaking out.
The implication here being that everyone else was just as shocked as you?
Yeah. Because I pointed it out.
Implying that you broke the silence. Everyone was actually shocked for a moment there.
Yeah, it took me a second to recognize. And I was like, wait, that's MatPat. Everyone was freaking out. My sister said she didn't recognize him until we said that. It's just a theory line. And now they're confirmed to make FNAF 2.
I wonder if MatPat's gonna show up or not.
They want to get Markiplier in it. Because they tried getting him in the first, but he was too busy.
Making Iron Lung, if I remember correctly?
Yeah. That's gonna break the record for most amount of fake blood in a movie.
Well, I'm pretty sure the ocean's literally made out of fake blood, so yeah.
Yeah. Alright, Freddy Fazbear. Ugh. So how long until Freddy Fazbear gets into Smash Bros. At this point? Me costume or actual fighter? He's gonna make it in at some point.
Probably me costume.
Yeah. I know me costume's the most realistic one. But if he makes it as a natural fighter, I'd be...
No, he doesn't have enough things to do.
I know, but it'd be funny.
Also, he definitely wouldn't be the first indie character.
Yeah.
If anyone was going to get first indie character, it'd probably be like Shovel Knight.
Yeah, I was going to say Shovel Knight.
Or heck, even Shantae has a better chance.
Yeah. Shovel Knight's already in Sith Trophy, so...
And a costume, quickly.
Not a costume.
No.
Shantae has a costume. Imagine they do Ultimate Deluxe, and then they randomly sell a 40 Fazbear Mii costume, and it comes bundled with the Living Tombstone song.
The reason I brought up Hasbin is because we were talking about Purple Guy earlier before we started, and that led to the whole Man Behind the Slaughter joke, even though I don't listen to the Living Tombstone. And then I realized, hey, wait, if I correctly, didn't Living Tombstone write for Hasbin's music? And yeah, he was the one that co-wrote it.
Yeah.
So if you ever wonder why his song sounds like a Living Tombstone song, if you listen to him, probably because he helped write it.
Yeah.
Well, one of them anyways, you know what I mean.
There were some people in the theater I watched the movie in, because the Living Tombstone song played in the credits.
Uh-huh.
And there were some people singing along. Okay. So, what else has happened?
Let's see. I think we talked about the whole Chugga being a pedophile thing.
I did talk about this very briefly with Kevin, but there was a controversy with the completionist.
Yeah.
Charity fraud.
Yeah, he frauded a charity.
After I met him at a convention.
Yeah.
And you were right about saying all Mario Maker level makers are assholes. Yeah. The writing was on the wall.
You made a Mario Maker level?
Go to hell. Oh yeah, that was
something.
Something. And I'm dead.
That looked extra crispy.
Yummy.
Let's see if I can find, like, what has been going on recently.
A YouTuber called Uneven Bite is being cancelled.
What do we do this time?
Have opinions.
Again, what do we do this time?
Yeah. What haven't we done? Kill a person. Actually, like, I think yesterday I was, like, browsing.
Oh yeah, Niji Sanji fuckery happened recently.
Who's Niji Sanji?
Niji Sanji is a VTuber agency. Basically, Doki Bird, one of their streamers, quit after bullying stuff. And she came out about it, and like Niji Sanji is doing like their best to try and like shut her up and basically take blame away from themselves and like make her out to be the villain. But no one fucking believes him, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Especially because this isn't even the first time Niji Sanji's been caught up in controversy for how they treat their streamers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a YouTuber called 2Mad died.
Oh yeah, that shit was hilarious.
He was dead, and then I saw a post saying, he's a pedophile. I was like, okay, go to hell.
So, the thing about the 2Mad thing is...
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Me and Kevin were perfectly okay making fun of him for his death.
Everyone is.
Yeah, but the reasoning for it.
Yeah. Drug overdose.
Like, first of all, we were already of the opinion that,
I don't know what happened there.
like, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Even before the pedophilia thing came out. We already knew he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, he was consistently an asshole about things. And it doesn't help that like he doubled down on shit that he really shouldn't have. Like that incident where he claimed a dead teenage trans girl was his girlfriend and shit like that.
Yeah.
Where like the whole point was like as people point out is that you shouldn't be like using a dead person for this shit.
Yeah, that's fucked.
But he did. But like there was like the whole like the whole thing about him doubling down, and then there's the fact that everyone kind of knew after a while that he was taking drugs and shit like that.
Yeah.
But there's the uncomfortable truth here of the matter, and that's I don't respect him enough to not like make fun of him in his death.
Yeah.
And even if I did respect him, let's be perfectly honest here. Too bad the troll. He honestly would prefer people to laugh at his death,
Yeah.
especially the way that it happened.
Yeah.
Because do you remember how it happened?
Drug overdose.
Yeah, but that's not the whole context. Specifically, he had a drug overdose while being on cue for Overwatch 2.
Overwatch kills people.
Overwatch has a death toll. People still fucking play this game.
A dead game kills a person.
But yeah, he wasn't even in game. He was on cue. And he'd been online for 5 days, meaning no one had realized he was dead for that long.
Jeez.
And that his entire fucking Discord immediately started shitting on him for his death.
Awesome. Boom. Anyways.
Besides, most of the people who didn't know him basically stated he went off the deep end once he started taking drugs.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The most shocking part was finding out he was 23.
Yeah. I'm 22.
Because it means that he was a year younger than me.
That's horrifying.
And like a year older than Kevin.
I mean, Ellis Mart is like 3 months younger than me, so there's that. And when I found that out, I was like, what? How is that guy younger but more successful?
No, my issue is the fact that someone's that young and dying.
I know, yeah. Don't die young, kids. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
Like, I was hearing, like, talks of it being ketamine or fentanyl, or some people thinking it was, like, fentanyl-laced ketamine.
How does that work?
Fentanyl could be snuck into drugs pretty easily. It's essentially colorless and odorless. And you only need a little bit, like, less than like a teaspoon to kill.
Yeah.
You don't even need that much, really. Like, the lethal dosage is really fucking small.
Yeah. Whoa. Anyway, I never liked Two Men, so I have no feelings towards his death. Anyway.
Kevin liked him for a while, but then everything about him came out.
Yeah.
And then he was like, nah, I don't want to associate with him. And then he died, and even worse shit came out about him. Personally, I'm perfectly happy laughing at a man's death. I do enjoy Schadenfreude, and I am a monster, so...
Anyways, ow, oh, ow. God damn, I'm still fucking sore from, like, this weekend.
What the hell do you do?
Walk around a lot.
I don't know. Is there anything else that happened?
I'm trying to think.
I found out, I was like, earlier a few days ago, there was these really fucking, to me, they were funny, memes about Kingdom Hearts, where, like, essentially, a member of the Kingdom Hearts subreddit, right?
Yeah.
Was taking images from the manga of 358 and changing the dialogue Where the whole point of Roxas leaving the organization had changed from it being about like how like he's sick and tired of all the manipulation and all that, and like he missed Shion and all that, to him wanting out of the organization because, or according to Zemnis, like the main rule is that they stay bitchless in the organization.
Yeah.
That's literally a direct quote. But basically, Roxas wants a girlfriend, and the organization is stopping him from doing that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Zemnis is going around catfishing people. It's kind of funny.
Anyway, I
think the funniest line though was when Sykes confronts him in a fight, and Roxas beats him. Like he basically tells him that like he's gonna be just like them, and then Roxas is like, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing," which obvious Spider-Verse quote. And the only reaction to that from Sykes is, "When the hell did he watch Spider-Verse?" Not that he got his ass kicked. No, it's when the hell did he find time to watch Spider-Verse?
Sometime, apparently. I was gonna say I was looking at r/Danganronpa, everyone's favorite subreddit, based off everyone's favorite series.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there was one post that says, I'm writing a school essay about Danganronpa, and I need examples of some of the most toxic Danganronpa fans in existence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's something to write about.
Oh shit, we never talked about Danganronpa!
We didn't! Next time.
Okay,
Next time, because that's like a whole 2-hour discussion.
Yeah, okay.
But, like, one that stuck out to me was, like, some Junko cosplayer who shot and killed a person. And I'm like, right.
Sounds like Junko, alright.
Yeah, and I'm like, I thought we've established Kane isn't good. And I was like, okay. Anyway. Oh, and there was fucking one other thing. I don't remember. Real quick, I remembered fucking Dolphin emulator was supposed to come to Steam and then got canceled because Nintendo stepped in or something.
The reasoning is because Dolphin, like, apparently actually used the Wii keys.
Yeah.
Like, essentially, they used the literal one thing that they couldn't use, and left it in the main product.
Yeah.
Essentially, outright, like, stealing the technology of the Wii.
Yeah. But,
so, which is why, like, emulators like PSX 2 will basically just, like, have the emulator there, but you need to, like, bring in your own, like, BIOS and key and all that. Essentially saying that, like, what you're emulating is your literal PS2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sure, you can easily find a copy of that stuff that isn't, like, from an actual one,
Yeah.
but that's on your choice.
Now, I did come across something, like, they did an April Fool's post saying, Steam version will have achievement support, and some of them were just really funny.
Like, what?
So, I'll read them out. Steam achievements are coming to Steam Dolphin. Ahem. Use FreeLook to flip the screen 10 times within 20 seconds. Play with wireframe enabled for 2 hours and 16 minutes. Launch Dolphin with your system date set to November 19th, 2006, which is the launch day of the Wii. Import a Wii NAND, which is like system software, which has a homebrew channel installed. Play through the entirety of Rogue Squadron 2 and 3 using the null video backend. Toggle each Dolphin configuration at least once. Get a game to freeze and make that beeping sound upon crashing. You know the one. Connect the Wii balance board to Dolphin. Boot a Wii game via the disk channel of the emulated Wii system menu. Browse the internet with the internet channel. Order food delivery using the Demay food channel. Press Remind Me Later 20 times on the update available screen. Toggle all log types and generate a log file over 100,000 lines long. Press Stop 5 times and press No each time when getting the confirmation. Enter stereo stop at 3D and map FreeLook rotation to Gyroscope. Use a credit card in the Wii Shop channel. Have over 9,000 save states in your Dolphin user directory. Play a game with keyboard and mouse only. Use the software renderer, DSP LEE interpreter, CPU interpreter, and write bad catch with dcatch emulation for 30 minutes. Run out of storage because of the generated log file. Won a versus match of Super Smash Bros. Melee with the DK Bondos. Use the ASCII art shader in-game for at least 2 hours. Have at least 200 games on your Dolphin game list. Run a Wii game at 24 times IR without slowdowns for over 30 seconds. Play any game using controller profile that takes input from more than one device. Launch Dolphin 6.0, which doesn't exist. Complete Super Monkey Ball with Dolphin's frame when they're disabled. Run out of emulated Wii Remote battery. Run an emulator within Dolphin while running Dolphin under a VM. Cause Dolphin to crash. You monster. Play for 2 hours without an audio backend selected. Play for 1 hour without crashing with dual core, speed up disk transfer rate, synchronized GPU thread never, emulated CPU clock 400%. Set a custom user style. Connect 4 Wii remotes and 4 official GameCube controllers at the same time. Yeah, I have 2 GameCube controllers. Enable list view in all list columns. Close a game within 10 seconds of opening it. Replace an NKit game, which is a file type for GameCube games, with any other format. Launch a game using 4 integrated Game Boy Advances, resulting in 5 game windows on screen. Emulate the GameCube Action Replay with at least 1 Gecko code active.
Oh yeah, there is probably something.
Yeah. Give us a minute.
Okay.
Load 16 Skylanders on the emulated portal.
Before I go, all I can say is I forgot to bring this up, but 100 Girlfriends fucking goated like always. The reason I said this is the anime came out, and I love the manga, and I love the anime, so watch it.
Use the Wii Speak microphone to make dolphin noises. Work. Check for updates while you're on the latest version 50 times in one day. Run out of space on emulated Wii. Burn 1,000 calories by moving a Wii remote. Play Wii Sports for at least 10 hours without using the Wii remote strap. The best achievement hunter wins a golden Wii. That THQ gave Queen Elizabeth. Anyway, thanks for watching.
But
yeah, like and subscribe. We'll talk about the Nova V3 next time. Be prepared for that. It might span multiple episodes.